Hello everybody, welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And before I proceed, I also publish on Rumble, Patreon, Twitter, PayPal, all that stuff here for extra support. Got a little bit busy, that's why the video is going a little bit later than usual. But yeah, we got some stuff here to cover, namely we got the drama of the 4060 Ti 16GB. Supposedly there's not a lot of like the what you used to do like review programs, which is NVIDIA or even AIBs usually send earlier GPUs for reviewers to start their tests and everything to then publish the review. Seems that this is not actively happening. NVIDIA is not actively involved in the launch, apart from overseeing the testing and testing process and regulating when reviewers can publish the results. Surprisingly, according to Hardware Unbox, it's one of the YouTube channels that I follow regarding reviews of anything PC components. Even the board partners are not enthusiastic about providing samples to the testers. So basically, it's supposedly to launch, according to the rumors, on the 18th. Today it's the 11th, so not a lot of days until. Usually it's like 2 weeks before, if not mistaken, give or take the average. And Hardware Unbox didn't receive anything. They don't have like any replies here. This is going to be a tricky one. Of course, this is going to be a dead on arrival as expected since the launch of the 4060 Ti 8GB version, and of course after the 4060 non-Ti, and of course this one, which is $100 more at least comparing to the 4060 Ti 8GB. So as you can see, this is going to be another dead on arrival. They think they can play around with gamers. People don't have money to spend, throw money out of to NVIDIA for them to for this kind of GPU in terms of price to performance, which is horrible. You got even the 20 series at this price, I think can be even more more advantage than the freaking 4060 Ti at the price that they want to launch. But yeah, this is news that we got. I will wait for reviews of this, official reviews for this GPU, and then I will bring you some updates regarding that. In other news, the 7800 X3D from AMD, of course, it's now below $400 at Microcenter. Microcenter has been doing a lot of, I don't know if it is like a partnership with AMD, because they launched the 5600 X3D, so from previous generation CPUs. It's a very good one, like mid-range CPU, gaming CPU, sorry, and it's exclusive to Microcenter, and of course you cannot, it's only in-store pickup, but there is the 7800 X3D for $400, very good price for what this CPU provides in terms of gaming performance. And yeah, it's the 20% off when you buy a compatible AM5 motherboard. So it's $400, but you have to buy a compatible AM5 board, which even the B650s, for example, the one of those that Hardware Unbox did like a huge review of almost all B650 boards that are around in the market. It was like almost 30 boards, and one of those that is very good, it's the MSI, the Pro, if not mistaken, the Wi-Fi, or they have all Wi-Fi, I think, and there is the M version, so Micro ATX, I think it's called. It's not Mini ATX, it's Micro ATX, and the ATX versions. They are pretty good in terms of power delivery, very, and it can handle the next generation of CPUs. But yeah, as you can see, the X3D versions are relatively cheap, from at least from a few months ago, and I think it's a good buy if you want to build a new high-end gaming CPU system. Sorry, I think this one is pretty the one to go to. And it, in terms of like performance regarding production applications, it's on par with the 77, I think. if not mistaken. I don't recall the exact numbers, but it's not a bad one. It's not on par with the 7900, of course, because the 3D cache, the frequencies has to be lowered because of the power delivery and all that stuff, because the cache is very sensitive to high temperatures. But yeah, it's an excellent CPU to game and to manage to do some productivity work also. Got some interesting things regarding AMD Nexus, Gamers Nexus. They did like basically the documentary regarding the like the engineering part of AMD. I think they got some behind the scenes. I didn't watch the video, but it's interesting how they went about it for the Ryzen 7000s. They were trying to experiment with the vapor chambers on the thingy here. They call it IHS. Sorry, they were trying to play around with some vapor chambers, but they realized that it really doesn't bring any kind of performance, or even in terms of temperatures. And in some situations, the temperatures were higher in sustainable loads, or in sustained load. Sorry. So they reached the conclusion in terms of how to cool the CPU. It's better to have a decent cooler than to have like the IHA's integrated heat spreader. It's more easy for me to say it fully. To have like a normal one and then have a very decent cooler to maintain the temperatures under control. You got the video here from Gamers Nexus. They always do excellent content. Even though sometimes you don't agree with them, but they regarding this kind of stuff, they are very, very good on going behind the scenes and trying to, because they are very enthusiastic regarding this manufacturing process and all that stuff. But yeah, also regarding AMD, we got this. I mentioned this a few days ago, I think, at least 1 week. The 7500F, which is basically a 7600 without the iGPU. So basically, many on the manufacturing process, or the iGPU was kind of faulty or didn't work. So basically, it is deactivated. And of course, this is kind of the same performance, because we had some leaked benchmarks here. And in some situations, I think it performs even better than the 7600X. But this how do I call it? The Geekbench, this new version, usually the results at the moment are a little bit inconsistent. That's why we might see this, and it's also in the margin of error, like 2%. It's basically margin of error, but basically functions as a 7600X or the non-X version. And the only thing that it doesn't have is the iGPU. However, at the moment, it's only going to be launching in China. I think they don't have like huge amounts of supplies to make like a worldwide launch on this CPU. But it is cheaper. It supposedly is going to cost less than $200. The 7600, it's around $215 to $220, give or take. So below $200. Some rumors think that is going to be around 180 something, 190, around that price range. And I think this is really, if this managed to launch worldwide, I think it's like in terms of budget systems, and of course the 7000 series in terms of performance from the previous generations, you got a good jump there to compensate to build a new in the new platform. And I think it's going to be a very good budget CPU, especially at this price point. And of course the Intel, they can have like a little bit more performance, but the prices are too high. The price to performance jump in terms of competition between the kind of the same inline CPUs, it's not worth at the moment with Intel. Even the refresh that is going to come this year, it's not going to work if you already like have a 13 Gen CPU. But yeah, this is regarding hardware. There is only this gaming news from Clockwork Revolution. We saw this on the Xbox showcase. It got, at least in the trailer, some Bioshocky vibes from the trailer, because it's like how it was presented to a certain point, very Bioshocky Infinite, especially. It gives a lot of these vibes, but we got a little bit more news, especially from one of those. I think it's. I don't know if it is the game director, but it's from Exile. Basically, the pitch is it's similar to the Masquerade Bloodlines, and also Arcanum. I never played these two games. But they are in line with RPG games, which is very good news. Bioshock is more action oriented. You got a lot of like the vests and the hats to bring a little bit of the RPG-ish element, and the weapon upgrades. You don't have like abilities that you have, that you can go about it, and there is not a lot of RPG elements in Bioshock Infinite. I made the gameplay series on that game, but yeah, this seems to be good because Exile is very hardcore RPG in terms of games, especially from Wasteland. They launched Wasteland 2 and Wasteland 3, the last one. I managed to put myself in the middle of a gameplay series with Wasteland 2 Director's Cut, and then I moved out of country, and then I had to stop the gaming because I don't have a PC for that. But it's one of those that I really enjoyed what I played at the time, and it's good news because this is more RPG infused, and even though it's first person. But yeah, we got here some quotes from I forget where is the name of this Chad Moore. Okay, he was a designer on Bloodlines, and it's also there is Jason Anderson, which was the lead designer on Arcanum. They are both in Exile, which is very good to have this kind of DNA integrated on this game. I'm very excited for this game. There is no not even a year for the launch. It will come when it will come, which usually it's good news because they are working on the game and make sure that the game is at the point that they think that it's good. They for sure will announce it. The same thing happened with Wasteland 2. It was crowdfunded at the time, and Wasteland 3, when they were bought by Xbox, I think. Yeah, I think while they were developing Wasteland 3, and then I think they delayed a little bit to polish a little bit more after they've been acquired by Xbox at the time. But yeah, it's good to see that we have a little bit more information here, and I'm going to wrap up with some deals. Now I'm basically recycling some deals that I started off with Steam Summer Sale, because we only have like 2 days, and I basically went all through my wish list of the games that I think that are worth buying, at least the ones that are on the Steam sale. I'm going to put some Wolfenstein. I played the first one. I made a gameplay series. It's 75% off, the Old Blood, and we have also the 2-pack, which is the New Order and the Old Blood. So this one and the previous that I talk here. They are both 75% off. I think it's worth buying the 2-pack. This is basically the Old Blood is a prequel for the first one. And then we have also Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus. These are the free games basically from the mainline, with deals with BJ Black Suez. And yeah, this one is 85% off. The Digital Deluxe Edition, I think it's well worth. It has some added content. This one, the Youngblood, I think it's a little bit janky on the gameplay, but yeah, it is what it is. Also, we got Wasteland 2, the ones that I was talking about. The Director's Cut is 75% off. I think it's well worth buying this one if you like RPGs, isometric views. It's very good. It's an older game from 2014, but it's one of those that I played like 3 or 4 times, and I really enjoy it. I'm not sure. I think they have mods for this, but I'm not exactly sure. For around 5 years, I didn't touch this game, so I'm not sure if they have mods, but for sure, almost positively that there is. And then we have also Wasteland 3, which is the latest from the Wasteland games. 80% off. It's the Colorado edition they usually mention here. 62% off on this one. $20. It has some extra DLC here. I think it's well worth. And I think from what I saw from the reviews, it is an improvement from Wasteland 2, and Wasteland 2 was already a good game. Also, we got from Capcom all the Resident Evils, the remakes, the Resident Evil 2, 3, Village, 7. I made a gameplay series on this one. The original, like a remaster of the original one. And then we got the Revelations 2. I will leave the links for the games on the description of all the Resident Evil games that are on my wish list. Also, we got Days Gone, a very underrated game. It's like an open world zombie post-apocalyptic biker guys here. I don't know the story, never played this game, but it's one of those that I saw a lot of good reviews here, and the PC port is very good. It has like ultra-wide support and a lot of stuff here, and it's 65% off, 17 bucks, and I think the story is pretty good from what I understood. Yeah, this is one of those that I like to try out and see how it goes. We got also, of course, Cyberpunk 2077. It's 50% off base game, but there is the Phantom Liberty. Usually, I don't recommend pre-ordering anything, even DLC. But from what I understood, if you're feeling that it's a good deal for you, you can buy it. From the previews that I've been watching, it seems a good DLC here. It's a huge part of the city, from what I understood. And I didn't get spoiled here, but it seems pretty good. What they did here with plus the update that will come, I think it's 1.7 or something like that. Yeah, the patch 1.7, it comes with when this DLC comes out. And lastly, we got Death Stranding Director's Cut. One of those, it's a must play. It's a Kojima game. You might not love it, but it's one of... he always goes in interesting ways of how he makes games. From the Metal Gear Solid times and this Death Stranding, it's one of those. I managed not to get spoiled. I only know the Sam Porter, it's the name of this guy, and I know the game loop is delivering stuff, and basically it's connecting through the world. There is a lot of cameos from his friends, but I don't know more, but I know it's very good. The Director's Cut is the best version here. 50% off, 20 bucks. I think it's a must buy for sure. When I have my PC, for sure. I already have this one on Epic Games. I managed to snag it for free a few months ago, but yeah, this is one of those that you at least have to try out. And I'm going to wrap up here for today, so I don't get too long on the video. With my GoFundMe for me to upgrade my PC to get better, more content for my private clients, and of course doing some video stuff for them also. And in my free spare time, doing the daily videos better quality, doing some scripted content to get in some deep dives of some subject that I like to talk about, and of course resuming my gameplay series and possibly do some live streams in the near future. And with all that said, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. So until then, Kunamy Master out.